Hi there, this is Daisy Oliveira with Alliant International University. This is my week 8 presentation to school board officials and educators so that we can get these technology tools implemented into our classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Okay, so get into present mode here. The title of my presentation is called Educational Technology Training Seminar. This is for the class Educational Technology with Professor Spencer. Our training seminar day 1, educators will have the chance to come in, we'll welcome them, we'll introduce our topic for the day, which is educational technology. We're going to be talking about why educational technology is important. That will be from 9 a.m. to 9:30, so we're going to take about a half hour to do that. Then from 9:30 to 10:10, we're going to take about 40 minutes to look over our tools. Our tools are smartboards, the Nearpod software, and insert learning. Next, we have our time of exploration. This is our time when educators will have the opportunity to see both sides of our interfaces. For example, they will look at what the students are going to be doing and what they'll be experiencing when they're using these programs. And they will have the opportunity to see what they will be experiencing when they are using these programs. Educators will have the opportunity to explore smartboards in groups. This is all going to take place from 10:10 to 11:20. So this will be about an hour, 10 minutes. The reason that we do all of this in an hour and 10 minutes is because we want educators to have the time to look at everything, discuss, go in depth with everything. Normally, people would say it only takes a few minutes, but we want to make sure that everybody has a chance to really see what they're going to be working with. They will have the chance to explore smartboards in groups, discuss features and capabilities that they notice. And then they will be prompted to explore and discuss how these tools correspond with models like the EEE framework found in Liz Kolb's Learning First, Technology Second, and the SAMR model. So we can see these here. Educators will be asked to look at models like this, see how the tool engages students, how it extends their learning, how it enhances their learning. And then they'll be asked to look at the SAMR model and see how things correspond over here as well. So with all that being said, let's get to the day 2. Our training seminar day 2, we have our exploration continued. This is going to be from 9 a.m. to 9:20. So this is just going to be 20 more minutes, kind of wrapping up what we talked about yesterday, talking about how the tool enhances student learning and engagement, why the lesson is made better with these tools than without, how these tools make teaching and facilitating easier for the instructor and their viability, financial implication of these tools. Then we have our digital citizenship and ethics segment, which is going to be 9:20 to 10 a.m. We're going to take about 40 minutes to talk about how digital citizenship is modeled and promoted with these tools, as well as how ethics is modeled and promoted, ethics are modeled and promoted with these tools. So the teacher will typically be sharing her screen or his screen, and the students will be able to see what they're doing. And this models digital citizenship and ethics. And we're going to discuss how that does it and how we can use other methods of modeling. Finally, we have our conclusion and our debrief. This is going to be from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. This is going to give educators the opportunity to discuss some ideas from our workshops that they liked, maybe some things that they disliked. They're going to take the time to talk about how these things are going to help them in the future, how they can be helpful, opportunities for expansion, things like that. We're going to give them a full hour to do this because we want everybody to have the chance to brainstorm and kind of feed off of each other's learning and take with them some new ideas before we end our training. So with all that being said, we are going to be looking at the same 3 slides for our training. This is our slide on smartboards. Smartboards are an incredible classroom resource. A smartboard is essentially like having a giant iPad in place of a computer and projector. So this is a great resource if you want to have something where you can just easily tap where you want to go. It's right in front of you. The students are seeing what you're doing in real time. This does have capabilities with computer compatibility, so you can hook it up to your computer still. It has touchscreen capabilities connected to the internet. It does not require a projector or computer. Most of them, however, do not have a camera or microphone, which does make virtual meetings pretty much only accessible in view mode, meaning that you could only view the meeting and you wouldn't be able to speak or be seen on the video. With that being said, it says that smartboards promote student learning because many resources, including the internet, are directly at the teacher's fingertips, letting them answer student inquiries in real time, even if they are unsure of the answer themselves. Students promote student engagement because less time is needed for transitions because everything one needs to teach is right there in front of them, keeping students from becoming bored or otherwise disengaged. Smartboards allow for the teaching of digital citizenship because teachers are modeling for their students the proper and appropriate online behavior as they teach. Smartboards promote ethics because students must be respectful of the teacher and each other's turns on the board. For example, if someone is typing a drawing and the second person starts doing the same, it can interfere with the first person's work. And finally, we're going to talk about some of our financials having to do with these tools. So according to Smarter Systems, typically it will cost anywhere from $2,500 to $7,000 to have a smartboard interactive flat panel in your classroom. An interactive flat panel is essentially just the giant smartboard itself. Depending on the number of classrooms, this can get pretty pricey, but to determine the best bang for their buck, institutions should consider exactly how and for what they will be using their smartboards, as this will help them determine exactly how much they should spend. Number 2, we have Nearpod. Nearpod even offers software compatible with VR headsets, as you can see in our image here, which allows for an even more immersive virtual field trip experience. This lets teachers control the pace at which students are progressing through the slide deck. It's similar to Pear Deck, wherein you can say that students are allowed to go at their own pace through the slide deck, or you can choose to monitor that, keeping everybody on the same slide when you're screen sharing or when you're doing distance learning. This allows for synchronicity in digital distance learning environments. So for example, if you have a hybrid class wherein some students are working at home, this could be working in your favor because it keeps everybody on the same page and keeps students from very quickly going through it when you can't see them with a software like GoGuardian or you're just not physically present. This has features such as virtual field trips, which I mentioned before. Traditionally, the virtual field trips have just been the screen sharing of themselves, and then kids have the opportunity to see the deck, or it's been projected on a projector within classrooms, and students have the opportunity to just see it. However, with these Nearpod VR experiences, students have the opportunity to have a more immersive experience. They have a situation where they are really present because they have the headset on, and so they can see their peers and interact with them in a synthetic virtual environment, but it creates a more enriching virtual field trip experience. Nearpod creates an immersive experience that excites students and encourages them to stay present and in the moment. Nearpod enhances student learning because it gives pupils the chance to explore different subjects, skills, and even parts of the world without ever even having to leave the physical classroom. Nearpod promotes digital citizenship because students must be respectful of each other's digital space and be aware of those around them. Nearpod promotes digital ethics because students need to engage in the same ethical behavior on virtual field trips as they would in the physical world. And finally, as far as financials go for this tool, Nearpod does offer various packages, all priced at an annual rate. One can get started with Nearpod for free, holding classes of up to 40 students and allowing for the sharing of one's screen and slides. However, educators also have the option to choose to continue adding features such as VR headset compatible software and then choosing to rent the VR headsets, which go up in price as you add on to your packages, but you can consult with a Nearpod consultant to see about maybe getting a quote for that. So if you did want to see about getting Nearpod at your school, I would advise scheduling an appointment. Number 3, we have insert learning. Insert learning is something that is, in my opinion, mostly compatible with older students, given that it is kind of like a digital annotation software and provides Cornell Notes compatibility. It allows teachers and students to directly annotate and modify content on the web pages in a synchronized fashion. So for example, a teacher would be able to share something like this you see here, and then they would be able to create a question for their students, and they can share this website with all of the annotations with their entire class. So students would be able to have a discussion right there in the resource. They'd be able to see the teacher's comments, each other's comments, outside teachers' comments, should you choose to involve them. Anybody who is in the document with you is able to see what is happening in the document. And as everybody's updating it, everybody is contributing to the learning platform. You can insert notes, questions, and comments directly onto web pages, as we see here. You can share edited web pages with students. Like I mentioned, everybody can all be on the same web page. Students can insert their answers and any questions they might have. So after they finish answering a question, they also have the option to use these little tools in this bar right over here to add comments, questions, concerns, anything they might have that they want their teacher or fellow classmates to see. Insert learning promotes engagement because text and the text-related questions are side by side, keeping students from becoming discouraged because they can see the text right there. Insert learning promotes promotes learning because the text is readily available with questions and comments for students to reference. Insert learning promotes digital citizenship because teachers are able, to see everything in real time. When students are being so closely monitored, they are less likely to act out. So this is also helpful. It's similar to Go Guardian, where you're able to see everything that's going on their screen. Insert learning promotes ethics because if students are engaging in unethical behavior online, then their work will be flagged and potentially removed. So they will be ethical in the first place so as to not have to recreate completed work. So because students are not going to want to have to do it again, they're not going to want their work thrown away. They're more likely to just be ethical the first time. Finally, quite possibly the best part of this tool, it is a free resource. So all teachers have to do is add the extension to their browsers, which I prefer Chrome. That is what I recommend for everybody. It just keeps everything all in one place, passwords and all that. So you can just add this to your browser. So definitely recommend. Finally, we have our resources, the links to Insert Learning and Nearpod, and then we have our resources here that reference some of our articles. So essentially, we're just going to be going through the training and we're going to be reviewing these slides and we're going to be seeing about what we really could and could not use in our classroom and how it is going to be beneficial for us. And ultimately, whether or not we implement these tools is going to be up to our officials and whether or not we deem them necessary and whether or not educators feel that they could actually use them. So thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate you taking the time to do so. And I will see you around. Goodbye. Have a wonderful day.